Shalom, shalom. Bear with me 1 second, Israel. I just want to check the feed. Make sure we got, sound and pictures. Make sure we're good to go. The sound a little bit of staticky, a little bit of white noise. But I feel like I messed that up. I'm gonna just take what we got. Be able to move along with this. It's block here for any making it unpleasant for you. So, I'm gonna say Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, where we are led by the commanding general YAHANNA. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth about the Bible. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are the true Israelites according to the Bible, man. The Bible is a book about them, you know what I'm saying? Which, with that being said, you know what I'm saying, since 1969, we've been trying to bring blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans back to their culture, man. Their culture is the Bible and everything that surrounds the Bible. And when I say that, you know what I'm not talking about Christianity, because Christianity is, for one, it's a, and for two, you know what I'm saying, it's really, two is hypocrisy at its core, and three, you know what I'm saying, it's white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? That I know that sounds deep. You know what I'm saying? If you want to understand why I said that, feel free to watch any of our classes. But this is a Lashawan Qadash class, where we get into our culture, which is not identity, but which is the culture of the Bible. When I say culture of the Bible, I mean the law, statutes, commandments, the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? The prophecies, you know what I'm saying? The teachings of Christ. You know what I'm saying? The wisdom of the prophets, the wisdom of Solomon, and other great men in the Bible, and the Hebrew, man, the Lashawan Qadash, you know, the language that we spoke, you know, in the days of the Old Testament. So we've been teaching blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans to get back to these things, which is our culture. You know what I'm saying? Our culture is not, you know what I'm saying, the pastor asking for money, or, you know what I'm saying, having beef with the old lady in the front row, or, you know what I'm saying, having a gay tambourine banger, or any of that stuff. That's Christianity. And then it gets deeper how wicked Christianity is. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about our culture. Our culture is the Bible and the things that revolve around the Bible for blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. And with that, you know what I'm saying, we have the Lashawan Qadash, the Hebrew. That's where today comes in, man. Today is Friday. It's the Friday Lashawan Qadash class for I.S.U.P.K. Houston, I.S.U.P.K. Galveston, I.S.U.P.K. Port Arthur, and Beaumont, man. Where we get into our culture and learn how to read, write, and speak the ancient Hebrew. Because Hebrew is what we spoke before we were speaking English, before we were speaking Spanish, before we were speaking Patois or Creole, French. You know, these languages are not our culture. These languages are languages that were given to us by our oppressors, man, in captivity. You know what I'm saying? Hebrew is the language of the Israelites. That's what we get into today, man. So, without any further ado, we're going to get into it, man. We're going to start class the way we always start off class. That's by going over this Hebrew. As good as I can get it. All right, Israel. So this chart you see here, provided to us by the Israelite School of UPK, by the founding fathers, is the Hebrew alphabet, man. Lashawan Qadash. All 22 characters of the Lashawan Qadash are found here. And all words in Hebrew are a combination of some of these 22 characters. The going to stop. Hebrew is read and written started from the right going to the left. Unlike English, going from the left to right. Yeah, this is the Lashawan Qadash, man. Up here is the Paleo or the Ancient. And down below is the Assyrian. It's the same language. It's still I all the way to Ta. Ta all the way to Ta. But there are different symbols in these two because the Assyrian was created in a different, it was studied in a different captivity than this. We had a lot of different things going on than we had in this captivity. So we had to have our language kind of. I'm going to actually look into why this language is different. I know it's a different captivity, but why did it have to be different? I'm going to find that out the next class I teach. But, as I know, this is the Assyrian. This is the Lashawan Qadash out of time developed in the Assyrian captivity. And this is the ancient. So in the ancient, you know what I'm saying, we're combining these letters to make words. You have to be mindful of your connectors. And in the Assyrian, you don't have connect, but you have these 5 particular letters. You know what I'm saying? Ka, Ma, Na, Pa, and Tazah. If a word ends in these 5 letters, then you use this at the end, the one at the bottom, rather than the one at the top. One at the top can be at the beginning of the word or in the middle of the word. At the end of the word, for these 5 letters, you use these symbols down below. All right. Let's repeat after me. Ah. Ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, kha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, kwa, ra, sha, and da. Already, man. That is the Lashawan Qadash, man. That is the Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? That is the real Hebrew. That's not Yiddish. You know what I'm saying? The small hat man or the you know what I'm saying, really the oppressor. The oppressor was the devil the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? They tried to adopt our culture and they bastardized the Hebrew. They don't know that the real Lashawan Qadash is, you know what I'm saying, come from that right there. And the men and who founding fathers of I.S.U.P.K did the research. You know what I'm saying? They did they researched what was necessary to be looked up. And they found out that going back, you know what I'm saying, in the Bible and in the history, geography and you know what I'm saying, and all that the study and that surrounds it, you know what I'm saying, that is the Hebrew. So, you know what I'm saying, today we're gonna go over today's class. It's gonna be a little bit intermediate. We're gonna be going over adjectives, man. In the beginning of the year, this year, I taught a few classes. It was kind of a series in the Lashawan Qadash, which was about milk, which was about Hebrew milk. You know what I'm saying? The milk in learning how to read and write and speak Hebrew is learning your verbs, learning your nouns, of course, learning your nouns and your verbs, and learning how to conjugate them, and you know what I'm saying, and moving around nouns and verbs, creating sentences, simple sentences with nouns and verbs. So now, if that was the milk, then learning how to you know what I'm saying, work with adjectives and adverbs. A little bit, I'm gonna give a little bit about adverbs today too. Learning how to work with adjectives and adverbs would be kind of like the baby food or the, you know what I'm saying, the mashed up veggies. You start off with milk, this would be mashed up veggies, mashed up fruits and veggies. You know what I'm saying? It's not quite meat, but it's more substantial than milk. That's what we're going over today. We're going over adjectives and adverbs. So today's class is going to be really just I don't want to say theory, but it's kind of it's good for your notes. But if you follow along, you know what I'm saying, you'll see we're going to break down what an adjective is, how it's supposed to be used, and then we're going to give examples. So that's what we're going to start off with. I'm going to write the definition. So that's what an adjective is. An adjective is a word that modifies a noun. So a noun would be something like dog, cat, book, boy, man. That's a noun, a thing, a person, place, or thing. Or thing, something that would modify that person, place, or thing would be something that describes it. A brown cat. Brown would be the adjective. A brown cat. Or a big book. Big would be the adjective describing the noun, book. Book is the noun, big is the adjective. A grown man. A man is grown. A man is the adjective. A man is the noun. Grown is the adjective. So a word that modifies a noun is the adjective. And then I'm going to give a little bit about adverb, just because we on the same page. But remember, this is Hebrew, so it's going to get tricky. This is going to be a 3-part course. I'm just giving us an introduction to adjectives and adverbs today, and then we're going to get a little bit more into it next time I teach. And then after that, I'm going to give us some meat. I'm going to give us some substance. We're gonna get into some heavy Hebrew, and it's gonna be surrounding adverbs, adjectives, because I'll explain as we go. But right now, I'm gonna give adverbs. So, if an adjective is a word that modifies a noun, the big dog, big being the adjective, dog being the noun, then the adverb would be a word that modifies the adjective. So the adjective that's being modified, the very big dog. Not only is it big, but it's very big. Very is the adverb. A very big dog is an adverb, adjective, and a noun. A very big dog. So that's how we got that. So that's our definition of adjective and adverb. So now I'm gonna give us like I said, it gets a little bit complex when you're studying adjectives and adverbs, because there's different types of adjectives and there's different types of adverbs. There's really a handful of them. But the 3 main adjectives is what we're gonna go over today. This is the basic adverb. There's multiple adverbs, but the 3 main adjectives are attributive adjectives, predicate adjectives, and I think it was substantial. Like, what was it? Substantive, substantive adjectives. So predicate adjectives, substantive adjectives, and attributive adjectives. Those are the 3 main adjectives. We're gonna go over them, and then we're gonna also see how they're used when reading and speaking Hebrew. So that's what we're gonna do today. Alrighty. So first, we're gonna go over attributive adjectives. Follow the noun. Just trying to make you not a chore to read. You know what I'm saying? These little markings make it more it flows better with these markings. At least that's how I feel. So attributive adjective. These are the rules for using attributive adjectives. Follows the noun modifies. Also, in the Hebrew at least, these rules they may apply for English and Spanish and other languages, but these rules are mainly for Hebrew. So when modifying a noun using an adjective or attributive adjective, you know what I'm saying? Attributive adjective will follow the noun it modifies, and I'll give an example momentarily. But it comes after the noun, and then that adjective must agree in gender, pluralization, and formality. All right, so this is our example. The man is very strong. The man is very strong. That's our sentence. And we see that the man is our noun, not only the subject of the sentence, not only a noun, but it's the subject of the sentence. Let me write this in. Black is cool. No, I got green. Yeah. Let me change it up a little bit. So, man is the noun. And strong, following the noun, like remember it says, this follows the noun and modifies. Strong after man. So following man is the adjective. Strong. And very is modifying strong to make it, you know what I'm saying, more than just a little bit strong. So very is an adverb. All right. We got our sentence. We identify the adjectives and the nouns. And we got the basic sentence. So let's get it in Hebrew. So the man, right? We're gonna conjugate the noun man with our prefixes and suffixes over here to make it the man. It's a formality, right? The man with ha. Ha ayash. Now is a verb in this sentence, but you know what I'm saying? In Hebrew, where it's a direct language, so a lot of the times, you know what I'm saying, words like is and such as and from of thus and things like that, you know, they're left out. You know what I'm saying? We always have it the man and very strong. In Hebrew, it's, in the Old Testament, they spoke direct. Like they wouldn't say, uh, sister, if you could come over here for a second. They would say, woman, come here. You know, it's very direct. You know what I'm saying? They would say somewhat brutish, but I don't like saying the word brutish. I like to say direct because Hebrew is a beautiful language once you start to to unravel it. So we, but with that being said, that's why this is a three-part course for adjectives and adverbs, because some adverbs can be used as displaying when, why, where, how, and what. So an adverb would be filled in for is. But we're gonna get into that probably on the third part of this course. Now we just doing basic intermediate Hebrew. I'm saying ha-ayash, the man. And I'm gonna say very strong. So very. So in Hebrew, the the what do you call it? The 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 adjective follows the noun, right? For attributive, you know what I'm saying? Giving it the attributes. The adjective follows the noun, but the adverb will follow the adjective in Hebrew. In English, very came before strong, but in Hebrew, the way we're gonna say very is we're gonna say strong, pretty much saying strong exceedingly. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're gonna say very strong in Hebrew. The adjective comes after the adverb. So we're gonna give it an example. So strong is kazak. And ma'ad is very. And these will be hyphenated because they're going to get. Well, no, they don't necessarily have to be. There'll come a time in this court in this class we're gonna have to hyphenate our adjectives and adverbs. But here is okay. I believe it. Let me see. Yeah, here it's okay. So that's what we just said in Hebrew. Let me break it down. The man strong Ha'ayash kazak ma'ad. The man strong exceedingly. The man is very strong. That's how you say it. Ha'ayash kazak ma'ad. All right. So we got to get this in the Hebrew for a little practice. I'm only going to do I only have enough room for the paleo. And then I'm going to do another example for the attributive. And then I'll do the Assyrian. So, Hebrew, Lashawan Qadash, we go right to left. So, ha'ayash, laki. Ha, ha'ayash, hazak, ma'ad. That's it. Only three words. Ayash, Kazak, Ma'ad. Now I wrote that dash there just because I got enough room to put the Assyrian here. So you're not gonna shy away. Ayash. Ayash Kazak Ba'ad, which man, strong, exceeding. So, we followed our rules, right? The attribute of adjective, which is strong, it follows the noun, right? It comes after the noun. And it agrees in gender, pluralization, and formality. That's just something that, you know what I'm saying, that has to be said, you know what I'm saying? Kazak is definitely a masculine, right here, Kazak is a masculine Hebrew word. It's a pluralization, is for one man. Kazak, is not Kazak Yam, is one, is single, and the formality is the man, so it is Kazak. So it fits the gender, it fits these, what do you call it? Our requirements right here. But this is something to know once you start creating sentences of your own. I'm going to give us what do you call it? A vocabulary list at the end of class, so you guys can practice on your own, using adjectives and adverbs and, you know what I'm saying, modifying nouns in Hebrew. But you know what I'm saying, this is just the example we have here. Hayash, Kazak, Ma'ad. All right. So now I'm going to do another example with attributive. All right. So our second example is, this is actually in the scriptures. I think it's when I saw it in my textbook, it gave me the scripture. I should have copied it, but I didn't. But it's such a general sentence. But this phrase is in the scriptures. I think it's in First Kings. But the sentence is, the king was very old. Very similar to the man is very strong, right? But there's one difference. The difference is the man is very strong. We were able to leave out is because it's, you know what I'm saying. The words went together, and you knew you got the message that was being portrayed. You know what I'm saying. You were able to get the point across, saying the king's or the man strong exceedingly. But the king was very old. So we have to have this sentence has to be past tense. So that's the only difference. So we have to be sure to make this sentence past tense, because the king, as of now, he could be already passed away. So we have to say the king was very old. You can't say the king very old. You have to make it sure that the king was very old. So let's get it in. The king, right? We know king. We're going to use our prefix for the noun, the king. King is Malak. Malak. Now, was is going to be left out, but we're going to conjugate these, we're going to conjugate the adjective. Wait. Yeah, I can't do this today. conjugating adjectives is going to be for the next course. So it gets a little bit too tricky. It gets a little bit too tricky. So I'm just going to leave this for it is. But keep that in mind, though, because just the same way you conjugate nouns, you can conjugate verbs for past tense, future tense, pluralization, present tense, and whatnot. You conjugate nouns for formality and pluralization, and even what do you call it? Possessiveness, like my king, Malakia, or her king, or the king, the formality of king or the noun. You can conjugate all these things. You can conjugate adjectives too. All of this stuff can be conjugated, and they need to be conjugated. So we're gonna get into that the next class. This is just the introduction to adjectives. So I'm gonna change it back to is, so we can just keep it basic today. The king is very old. So we got Hamalak. We're gonna leave out is, and we're just gonna put old exceedingly, right? Old is Zaquan. So Zaquan, Ma'ad. The king, old, exceedingly. Real quick, I'm just gonna put an N for now. ABJ for adjective, and ADV for adverb. Alrighty. Hamalak Zaquan Ma'ad. The king is old exceedingly. The king is very old. So yeah, as you can see, these adjectives, they're just like verbs. You know what I'm saying? They have their own words. The word old used to describe a noun has its own words, Zaquan. You know what I'm saying? Words like adverbs, exceedingly, they'll be like probably like a handful of words that are used repetitively. But old it means old. Zaquan means Zaquan. So I'm gonna give us to build our vocabulary at the end. I'm gonna give us a list of adjectives. Some of them you already know, like beautiful, yapa, colors, Adawam, red. You know what I'm saying? Great, Gadal. These are some of the ones I'm gonna give us. But you know what I'm saying? That the adjectives like verbs and even nouns have their own words, which is why vocabulary strengthening is a must when you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, learn your native language, Hebrew. All right, so let's get it into Hebrew. Hamalak, Zaquan, Ma'ai. Once again, Hamalak. Oh, that's Hamalak with a Q or a qua. This is supposed to be a cut. Hamalak. Ma'ad. Already. Malak, the king, Zaquan, old or is old. Ma'ad, exceedingly or very. The king is very old. Now we're gonna. That was attributive. You know what I'm saying? The noun is getting attributes from the adjective. As an attribute, you know what I'm saying? Rewind, pause, get the notes. That's the first type of adjective that we're going over. The first of the main three. Attributive adjective. So now we're gonna go into predicate adjective. Really need. Let me see if it's does. It, which one predicate? Here we go. So next we have predicate adjective. All right. So a predicate adjective is really part of a noun sentence. The noun sentences are really those really basic sentences like, well, I don't want to say basic because it could get a little bit detailed, but sentences that revolve sentences where you know what I'm saying the noun is well the sentence noun is always the subject. So when I say noun sentence, I should have said noun phrase. So noun phrase. Big cat is a noun phrase talking about the cat. We know the big cat is the noun, the subject of the sentence, but part of the noun phrase big cat, you have the word big, which is the adjective describing the cat. It's modifying the word cat to make it big, the big cat. It's part of the noun phrase. Here we see it precedes the noun, it modifies. So it always has to go before. It precedes the noun, it modifies. It goes before before the it's part of the noun phrase. You know what I'm saying? Because in the noun phrase, the adjective, the noun is described by what comes before it. So that's what a predicate adjective is. The big cat, the red Kool-Aid, or the holy scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Things that modify it like that. It's similar to the one we just went over, which was attributive, but attributive. You know what I'm saying? English. You know what I'm saying? It comes and in Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? But the you know what I'm saying? Relatively speaking, but like you would describe the noun after it. The man is large, not the large man. The man is large would be your attributive adjective, but the large man will be part of the noun phrase, large man, and that would be your predicate adjective, part of the predicate. So let's go over it. Now we're gonna see how that's here. Let me write that down. But we're gonna, as you can see in the Hebrew, you know what I'm saying. The adjective had to come after the noun. So for this particular one, where the rule is it has to precede the noun, we're gonna see how to do it in the Hebrew. So our 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 sentence is I read from the good book. See where we're going with this. And I hate to sound Christian with the good book, but that's the sentence that we use. So, I read from the good book. Let's break it down. So this is the subject verb, right? Wait, the subject noun. Like subject noun. This is the verb. This is just the filler word. The good book is the I forgot what it's called, the comprehensive noun, but it's also a noun. So the book, the good book is this is the noun phrase, right? The good book is the noun phrase. That's the comprehensive noun phrase. But in the comprehensive noun phrase, book is the noun. And good is the adjective. And you know it's the you know more about the book that I read from because of that adjective in the noun phrase. The good book. So I read from the good book. All right. So now let's get it in Hebrew. I, Anya. We remember our pronouns from the milk, right? Anya. Read. So read. Oh man, I knew I was supposed to look up something. No, I got it. Most High and Christ. Yeah. So read, and this is so read. This would be currently read, right? We would have to modify the verb read, or not modify, but conjugate. We would have to conjugate the word read to make it I read, and I am currently reading, or I will read. But you know what I'm saying? There's multiple ways to skin a cat. I'm just gonna put the base word down, and that's gonna make it present tense, and it's gonna be suave enough to work. And I'm doing that because I don't want to confuse everybody too much with going in the past and getting hard stuff from the past, combining it with hard stuff now is gonna confuse everybody. So just using the base word works sometimes. But if you, by all means, if you good with your conjugations for your verbs, do it every time. But in this instance, we're learning a new word, which is read. So I'm just gonna put the base word there. And the base word is la ha Korah. Korah. Because right when you think about the base word means to read, right? So I read. It works. When you look at the base word, always to do this, to walk, to run, to think, to eat. You're saying this is to read. So Anya, read. I read. The base word is always going to be. It always works in that instance to do present tense. So I read. Then from is one of them things again. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go over that next week or the week after about using adverbs for, you know what I'm saying, when, where, why, how, and what. You know what I'm saying? Using them in that instance. But we're going to just be direct. I read the good book. That's all we need. So, the good book. Huh? We got the, right? That's the formality of the good book. Huh? But this is a predicate adjective. So good has to come first. It's described in the book. So ha tawab, and then hyphen. That's that hyphen we were talking about. Sapar. Ha tawab sapar. That is the good book. So anya laha korah, ha tawab sapar. I read the good book. There you go. It's a predicate adjective. You know what I'm saying? Since the adjective has to come first, you gotta hyphenate it to let you know that this is the adjective for this noun and they're connected. So the book is good. It's not that's just a book that is good. It's the good book. Predicate adjective. Let's get into Hebrew. Now we're going right to left. Anya. Laha Korah. Laha Korah. Laha Korah. Ha. Tawab. Sapar. Tawab. Anya Laha Korah. Ha Tawab Sapar. I read the good book. Most High in Christ. Now let's get it in Assyrian. Atwa Sapar. I read the good book. Which is the same as I read from the good book. It works, right? Multiple ways to skin a cat. That is one of them. That's one of the ways how to use the predicate adjective good in good book. Rewind, be kind and rewind. Get this for your notes. But now we're about to go to the last one. Still gotta have time to give us the wow, I'm running out of time for real. Yeah. Alright, I got enough time just for the last the last type of adjective we're going over. Because these are the three main adjectives. We got attributive adjectives, we got predicate adjectives, and now we gotta have substantive adjectives. So please bear with me, Israel. We might have to go over like 5 minutes. Now I'm not gonna keep you all too long. I know it's late already. You know what I'm saying? We start the Lashawan Qadash at 8. You know what I'm saying? It's already late in the day. We got slave tomorrow. Trying to make sure the kids stay asleep. There will be 5 extra minutes after 9 about the shot. We'll move quickly. So this is all right. Substantive. Substantive. I think I'm saying that right. So this is an adjective used as a noun. I'm going to explain. Now, how can we use adjectives as a noun? A noun is already explaining as adjective. A noun is being modified by adjective. The box, or the big book, or the large cat. How would you use a word like large as a noun? Well, we're going to see. So this is our example. The rich, see, you forgot about that, huh? The rich is used as a noun already. Rich can be used as an adjective, right? That word rich, it said the rich man, or the rich family, the rich kingdom. That's an adjective. But here, we're just talking about the rich in general. So the rich in general is the noun, but it's normally an adjective. So that's where it is, the substantive adjective, the rich. And that's our sentence. The rich never care for the poor. And there's another one, the poor. So real quickly, I'm going to do as much as I can. But this is our adjective slash noun. And this never care is a verb, right? Is a verb a verb is being modified with never. We're gonna go over that next week or the next time I teach. Because sometimes adjective can modify verbs. How much do you care? You never care. So the verb is being modified here. But we're gonna go over that next week. Verb, this would be believe adverb. Is an adverb modifying the verb. But for the another adjective. There we go. So the subject and the noun of the sentence is the rich, which is an adjective. Rich can be used to have another noun. That's it, man. That's the three main adjectives: substantive, predicate adjectives, and attributed adjectives. So I'm not going to leave class without getting this, and at least the transliteration. Yeah, I got enough time just to let us know how to say the rich and the poor and care. So, but we might not be able to get it in the Lashawan Qadash. So the rich, right? We're gonna use our what do you call it? Our suffix or prefix rather. We're gonna use our prefix to conjugate this noun, the rich, which would be high. And the word rich means is yasarak. Oh, no, not yasarak. 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 So ha Yathara is the rich, but Yathara normally would be rich. So you could put Yathara Ayash, a predicate, right? A predicate adjective, hyphenate Yathara and Ayash, rich man. But ha Yathara is the rich for a substantive adjective. Never care, right? We got never care. The verb care would be nabat. But here, we're going to say la'anabat. La'anabat, which is not non or no care. Doesn't care. It's not never, but doesn't. So this is the rich do not care. Do not care. I'll get it on the way out. I'll get it in different markers. The rich do not care. We're not going to get for. Remember, we'll go over the adjectives for when, where, how, what, and you know what I'm saying? Those linking verbs, if you will. We're going to get those next time. But the poor, we can just say the rich do not care, the poor. So the poor. And ha again, right? Ha. Ira. Ire. Ira. Ire. Ha, ira, ire. So, ha, yathara, la nabat, ha, ira, ire. The rich do not care for the poor. We're just gonna put it in the rich do not care. This word is really regard. The poor. The rich do not regard the poor. All right, it's lucky we didn't have enough time to get that last one in, the Lashawan Qadash, but we got the lesson down in the first part of the lesson. It's going to be a three-part lesson, so the next time I teach, we're going to get into adjectives and adverbs deeper and deeper every time until we finish with it. So with that, I'm going to close out. So we're going to give a courtesy salute to Tawada for joining me, if I could, Israel. Tawada, as always. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and to the sisters. So in men of Israel, I-Madim Shabbat, I-Madim, Barak, Yahah Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah, Yadim Matah, which means hands down. Sar, we're going to turn and face the women or the sisters. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I-Madim Shabbat, I-Madim, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Alathan Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yadim Matah, class dismissed.